Well, it is official. I have been kicked out of the Satanic Temple's official forum merely for asking a philosophical question they could not answer. The question being, does a mother, an expectant mother, have the right to put an implant tracing chip in the fetus? Everyone had their answer if they answered at all. But their answers were contradictory to each other. They were not consistent, and that's only after I severely pressed for an answer. They kept constantly trying to derail the topic, they bombarded me with questions, which I refused to answer. I'm like, listen, I'm not going to answer your questions until you answer mine. I'm not the one on the chopping block here. You are. This is your philosophy, and I have just asked you a legitimate question that happened to be relevant because someone had asked, what is the Satanic Temple's feelings on the government shipping people? So that was the discussion they had, and I only merely posed that question. I was blatantly attacked with, go fuck yourself, and you're a piece of shit, you don't support women's rights. I'll go put a link, actually, to a video by another YouTuber I've thoroughly enjoyed, Terrence Pop, and he just put a whole video up about the fake war on women and women's reproductive rights, and I'll put a link in the description to his video. I wish his video came out during that discussion I had with these people. It would have been beautiful to have just posted it, but I don't feel bad about being kicked out of them at all. I never asked to be a part of the group in the first place. I was invited by one of their high-ranking members, who happens to be an acquaintance of mine, because she felt that I shared all their views. No, I was a supporter. I agreed with their method of fighting Christians trying to force their Bible on children in schools, and using our taxpayers' dollars to push their church on the American people. And I did agree with their tactic. I think that's what the pagan community should be doing. The pagan community, when we see after-school programs for Bible study, we should be offering pagan studies. The difference being the Satanic Temple they're full of shit about it, though. For them, it's just an act. It's just trolling. It's all it is. They don't believe in Satan. They're not even Satanist. They don't believe in Satanism at all. You want real Satanism? Go look up the Church of Satan at Anton LaVey. That's real Satanism. These people are just liberals using Satan to push liberal agenda. It's all it is. You'll hear them shout, "Hail Satan," and throw up the horns, but it's nothing but a fashion statement to them. Even though they'll go on about how this is their life and everything. Believe me, I've seen these people. I've been in their circle. It's not what it appears to be on the outside. It's just a bunch of angry liberals that are just seeking something they can use that they know gets a rise at everybody. But being in that inner circle, I got to see firsthand tons of hypocrisy. It was constantly flowing through my newsfeed on my Facebook. And I always was biting my tongue, always, but sometimes you get a day where you just wake up a little grumpy or something. You just feel like stirring a little shit. And then here comes something stupid from their group, some discussion they're having, and one of their members is just saying dumb shit, hypocritical crap. And one such was, I don't know how many times this occasion came up, but be some politician or some preacher that'd get up and be like, "I'm not going to follow the laws of man. I'm going to follow the laws of God first." I think Ted Cruz is actually the most recent one that said something to that effect. That, he's a Christian first and an American second, meaning he's going to live by the Bible and then the Constitution. And the Satanic Temple members would go off on this about how stupid these people are and how unpatriotic they are and unconstitutional and how much they hate America, blah, 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 blah. Yet here is the second tenet of the Satanic Temple. And I'm quoting, "The struggle for justice is an ongoing and necessary pursuit that should prevail over laws and institutions." Translation: if there's something we feel is a righteous cause, then we should not be required to follow the law that violates our righteous beliefs. I mean, and these people ripped on the woman, that clerk who refused to issue marriage licenses. Yeah, she was being a cunt because she was using taxpayers' time and money to push her own beliefs. You know, she had every right to quit her job. She didn't have a right to refuse to do her job. If I refused to do my job and deliver to Christian churches, the product that my company has me deliver, I would lose my job. And I'm not going to blame them. It'd be my dumb fault. You know, it's just the way nature, the way the nature of working a job is. But the Satanic Temple sitting there ripping on this woman. They had a field day over her all the way up until she was, I think she was put in jail, if I remember right, or she was definitely brought up in some kind of small time charges like misdemeanor shit or something for the whole thing. And these people were just rooting on, yeah, that's what you get and everything. Yet these people are preaching themselves to not obey laws that we feel are unjust. You know, how hypocritical is that? They also go on about their fourth tenet, the freedoms of others should be respected. Their third tenet, one's own body is inviolable, subject to only that person's will. Their first tenet, strive to act with compassion and empathy towards all creatures. Yet in every one of these instances, they don't believe that a human baby is human just because it depends on the mother, because it's not formed enough yet. I was watching an animal show with my children, and they found a baby Joey in a zoo that had fallen out of his mother's pouch and was barely alive, and they nursed this Joey back to health. They thought they were going to lose it, though, but it survived. It's late. I'm a little tired. So the Joey wound up surviving and everything, and right away I'm like, there's a prime example. Kangaroos can't carry their infants, they can't carry their fetus full term, so they actually give premature birth at that would be an abortion age in humans, and that fetus basically climbs up the mother and into the pouch and latches onto a teat, and spends the rest of its development hanging on by its mouth and growing, and then it latches off and continues to stay in the pouch for a while until it's ready to come out. But by the Satanic Temple's definition, that is not a kangaroo. That is not a wallaby. That is not a living creature, because it is attached to the teat of the mother and cannot survive without her. Does that sound like logic or common sense? It's not. And that's exactly the problem. See, they preach about using science and logic, but in reality, it's feels over reals with these people. Well, anyways, I've talked enough, and I'm going to sign off.